Hello and welcome to another veg-inspired video. It is hot this week, so I'm bringing you 3 recipes that don't require cooking. Hello and welcome back to another veg-inspired video. Today we're gonna make chickpea buffalo salad. 1 can of drained and rinsed chickpeas, and we are gonna mash them. We're gonna mash them a lot. We're gonna mash it to where almost all of the chickpeas have been mushed and split apart. There's no real whole chickpeas left. That'll help keep your filling on your sandwich. Then we're going to add 1/2 cup of shredded or grated carrot, whatever texture size you prefer. About 1/4 cup of fine celery and the leaves. It's about 1 rib with the leaves, cut fine. About 2 tablespoons of finely cut onion or minced onion. You can also use green onions if you prefer. Just give that a little stir. We're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of dried dill and 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Gonna give it a couple of shakes of paprika. And then for our wet ingredients, 2 tablespoons of Frank's Red Hot to get that buffalo flavor. Now you could do 4 tablespoons, you could do 3 tablespoons, you could add more or less depending on your heat level. A tablespoon of lemon juice, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And then 2 tablespoons of my favorite tahini sauce. This will make it like a creamy, delicious buffalo filling, buffalo chickpea filling. And then we'll add a little salt and pepper to taste. Just about 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. About a pinch of salt, just to taste. You can add more or less when you are serving it, or people can add it to their salad or their sandwich. So this is what it looks like. It's a mashed chickpea with all those veggies spread, basically like a sandwich filling. Now you could eat this in a wrap, you could eat this in a pita, you could eat this in lettuce leaves. I'm gonna eat it on some sandwich bread with some nice crisp lettuce to go with. Okay, so now we're going to put our chickpea salad right into our whole grain bread. So I'm just gonna do a few tablespoons. Well, it's probably more like 1/2 cup per sandwich. If you have people who really love spice, you could put in a dash of cayenne to amp it up. And then we'll add some fresh crispy greens. We'll put it together. Let's give it a taste, right? The heat from the buffalo sauce just plays through just enough to give you this nice buffalo-y flavor. And I love buffalo paired with the creaminess of the tahini and the mashed chickpeas. It just really rounds out a really enjoyable sandwich. It's a tasty bean dip with that Lonestar inspiration. And the recipe comes from the Super Easy Plant-Based Cookbook. Get down. The recipe comes from my Super Easy Plant-Based Cookbook. Honestly, it's an awesome make-ahead snack for you during the week. We're gonna start with 1 can of drained and rinsed black-eyed peas. Now, I have not made this with any other type of bean. And then we're gonna add in 1/2 cup of frozen corn that I've thawed. And then we're gonna add in 1/4 cup of finely cut red onion. I've washed and prepared this kale. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to thinly slice it, kind of like a chiffonade, just really basically shredding it into fine strips and fine little pieces. The recipe calls for about a half a cup packed, so it's probably that. And then it says massage it. So I'm just gonna squeeze it gently between my hands, then toss it in. Next, I'm gonna prep my celery. Now I did leave this part for you to kind of watch and for us to just talk, for me to just talk, or us to just talk a little bit. So when I'm preparing the celery, I actually get the whole celery heart package, because what I'm looking for is the celeries that are bigger, so these like bottom parts, those are gonna become my scoops. And so while I'm cutting, I'm just looking for the ones that can be scoops versus the ones that can be cut finely into the celery that goes into my salad or into my bean dip. Like I said, these nice big pieces, these wide ribs, they're the ones that work really well as a scoop. You can also serve this dip with tortillas or tortilla chips, things like that. Bell pepper scoops, so taking those small mini bell peppers and cutting them in half and scooping out the seeds, those work really well as scoops as well. And now I need about a half a cup of the celery. So I'm going to just look for these pieces that can be cut. So it's finely cut. So I definitely want these smaller ones cut in half, maybe even in fourths. And then I'll just, so that's about a half of a cup of finely chopped celery. Next, we're going to do roasted red peppers. Now, the recipe in the cookbook calls for a fresh pepper and pimentos. So what I went ahead and did is I just bought a whole jar of roasted red peppers, and I'm just going to finely cut the whole 12-ounce jar. So this, again, is about a 12-ounce jar of roasted red peppers. And I want to give them a good fine chop. It can be a rough fine chop, but. Next, we're going to put in about 3 tablespoons of seasoned rice vinegar. Now, I like seasoned rice vinegar for this because it's more mild. I really think it brings out the flavor of the vegetables, and like I said, it helps to soften that kale. And then we're also going to put in half a teaspoon of chili powder and half of a teaspoon of a salt-free spice blend. Now, in the cookbook, the Super Easy Plant-Based Cookbook, there is a recipe for our salt-free spice blend, but you can use any salt-free spice blend that you have on hand. If you don't have one that has nutritional yeast in it, you may want to add just a pinch of nutritional yeast. I find that it adds a nice buttery kind of, not cheesy, like we're not adding tablespoons of it, just a little pinch. It adds this nice buttery richness, and I really enjoy that. The last thing we're going to add is 1 garlic clove minced, or it's about a teaspoon of garlic, minced garlic. And we're going to gently stir it because clearly, first of all, I missed the bowl. And this is too small of a bowl, but I wanted to use a glass bowl for you so that you could see how beautiful and colorful this bean dip is. You guys, it's so pretty. Look at this. Now for the best part, I'm gonna pick one of those big, ribs of celery and give it a nice taste. Look at it, so pretty. It's so good, it's so fresh, it's so flavorful. Oil-free basil vinaigrette that we're gonna serve over top of a cucumber tomato salad. We are going to start our oil-free dressing with our secret ingredient, the liquid from a can of chickpeas. This is roughly about 2/3 of a cup. And then for us, we save the rest of our chickpeas in a Pyrex container. We are going to add 1/3 of a cup of red wine vinegar. We're going to whisk in 1 tablespoon of brown miso. You could use any miso. We're also going to add in 2 minced garlic cloves, or 2 garlic cloves minced. We're going to add in about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of basil that's been chiffonade. So just roll it up and slice it really thin and then whisk it in. And then a half a teaspoon of dried basil. Give it a good whisk. You really want to mix those flavors together. Okay, so for our cucumber tomato salad, we took 2 cucumbers, washed them, peeled them, and cut them into half moons. We took about a half a pint of grape tomatoes and cut them in half, and then a few slivers of onion just to add a little pizzazz. Now this salad dressing is amazing, super flavorful, oil-free. You can use it on regular salads, you can use it in pasta salads, you can use it on this cucumber tomato salad like we're going to do. Let's put a little bit of this on this. Put a little salad dressing right on here. Get some basil. So excited to dig into this. The fresh basil is so bright, so tasty, paired with these fresh veggies. This is definitely a salad that you're going to want this summer. Thanks so much for watching this veg-inspired video. And until next time, eat more plants, live veg-inspired, and have a great day.